And it's so cool. It's amazing how someone's life can change simply, and I say simply, it's not easy, but it is simple, simply by changing the things they pay attention to. Your ability to manifest things in your life lies in your ability to train your subconscious to recognize the things that you actually want. So we have a mechanism in our brain called the RAC, the reticular activating system. And this is a part of our brain that essentially it tells us to notice, or it allows us to notice things that are important to us. So the first thing you need to understand is that we don't see the world, we don't see everything. We don't see reality. We see reality as it relates to our internal goals, our internal view, our perspective, right? So our perception works in three ways. We are able to perceive the world in three different categories: obstacles, tools, and pathways. And it's always in relation to a goal. So let me explain. If you were to perceive everything that is going on, you would be completely overwhelmed. You would be noticing every single detail, but that's not possible. It's not viable for us. So instead, we filter out the vast majority of information, the vast majority of inputs that we could possibly perceive. And instead, only notice things in three categories: tools, pathways, and obstacles in relation to the goal that we're pursuing. Tools, what can we use that's gonna help us to move forward towards our goal? Pathways, like ways that we can achieve our goal, and obstacles, the things that are gonna stop us or slow us down in that pursuit of the goal or the given objective. And so everything that you perceive in life is categorized into one of those three categories. Now, you might not think that because you're not consciously aware of what your goals are, and those goals shift and change, and it depends on, you have immediate goals, and then you of course have medium-term goals, long-term goals. So it's not just one thing, but that's how our perception works. And when you understand that, then you can start to harness that and to train yourself to notice the things that are actually important to you, the things that not just important, because whatever you're noticing is important to you in some way. The trick is to intentionally choose what's important to you rather than just allowing your subconscious to decide what's important to you based on your upbringing, all of the other inputs that you receive in life. So making it conscious instead of unconscious. I had this ability when I was a child to find wallets. I don't know how many wallets I found. I mean, in the course, I don't know what the time span, let's say it was a course of a couple of years. I lived in a small town, 100,000 people or so, small city, I suppose. But I would find wallets on the footpath all the time, wallets and money. Whereas I'd be walking down the same footpath and the same, the same parts of the city with friends, and they wouldn't notice these things. And the reason for that was it was so important in my mind. Like money was such an important factor that when something on the ground that represented money was there, I noticed it, whereas some other people wouldn't notice it because it wasn't forefront in their brains, in their minds. And I found, I returned most of them because they usually had an ID card or a phone number or something, so I was able to track down the person. If they didn't, then bonus for me, right? Sometimes I'd find wallets that had money in them and no way to contact the owner, in which case, that was my money. Finders keepers. But I say that, or I give that as an example, because at some point I would say, shifted focus, shifted objective, and no longer was able to find money or accumulate money very easily. And now I'm back into that stage of priming my subconscious to notice wealth, opportunities to accumulate wealth, etc. And so if you are in a position and a state where all you're noticing is things that aren't going right for you, it seems to you like the world's out to get you, and you like one thing happens and you're like, oh yeah, here we go, another unfortunate event for me. And all you're noticing is these events that are happening that are damaging to you, or unlucky, or unfortunate. You haven't trained your subconscious to perceive the good, and instead you've trained yourself to notice the bad. And this is a real challenge for us as human beings, because we have a negativity bias. So we're much more inclined to notice things that aren't going well than we are to notice things that are going well. But if you're in that state where you're feeling lost and you're feeling like you're a victim, the first way out of that position, the first way, the primary way to change the events that are happening in your life is actually to change the way that you're perceiving things. You can change the focus of your reticular activating system to notice the things that are going well for you in life. And when you start to do that, all of a sudden your whole reality changes, because literally your reality is made up of the things that you pay attention to, the things that you notice. It's not the things that are happening, because there's things happening all the time, right? There's bad things happening all the time. There's good things happening all the time. There's opportunities everywhere. There's dangers everywhere. Your focus and the way that you see things impacts the reality that you experience. And so you change the way that you see things, and the reality that you experience literally changes. It literally changes. And so you don't actually have to go out and try and change external circumstances. This is why it's so powerful. You don't have to go and make life work for you, first and foremost. I mean, it's a good attitude to have, but you actually can start by changing the way that you view what you're experiencing. And the process to that is quite simple. It's not easy necessarily, but it's quite simple. And that is to be grateful. Gratitude. Because gratitude is noticing things that are good, right? And if you don't have, or if you don't feel like you've got big things to be grateful for, start with the small things. And that might be hard for you if you're in a state where you're really struggling. And look, it's a tough pill to swallow if you're in a state of feeling like, you are a victim, and you probably are a victim. This is the thing. It's not to say you don't have tough things going on in your life. There are people struggling all the time, and you probably are one of them. But that doesn't change the fact that you get to decide the way you experience reality. And when you can accept and acknowledge that it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to choose, then you can start to change the life you're leading. And you'll change the way that you're feeling about your life, and you'll change the way you see reality. And then all of a sudden it'll be like, oh wow, 6 months ago my life was terrible, now it's amazing. And all that happened was that you changed the way that you viewed things. You changed what you were paying attention to. And it's so cool. It's amazing how someone's life can change simply, and I say simply, it's not easy, but it is simple, simply by changing the things they pay attention to. So it's super powerful. I highly recommend that you give it a go. Excuse me. I know it's not easy. I know there are a lot of people out there struggling to see the good. We're bombarded by negativity all the time. We're bombarded by, things that are going wrong. But recognize that those things they're a distraction, and you have a choice. Ultimately, you have a choice. You get to choose what you pay attention to, and that dictates the quality of your life. And when you accept that and you take on that responsibility, then your life changes. So give it a go. And if you need help with that, I have a program, I have an online community for men who are wanting to change the way that they think and the way that they see the world and create those opportunities for themselves and for their businesses. You can check out the link for that in the description below. I'd love to have you on board, love to get to know you, hear your story, and get an idea of how I might be able to help you to shift that focus, to shift the way that you pay attention to things, and get you to experience some amazing events in your life. And I know that I can get that for you, so check out the link in the description below if you want to be a part of that. And also, of course, if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow, helps this message or messages like these to get in front of more guys like you, because I know there are guys out there like me. I was in this position where I was really struggling to find the things that were good in life, and I know how powerful it is when you do start to make that shift, and I want to help as many guys experience that as well. So hit the like and subscribe, share it. If you found this useful and you know somebody who would also benefit from it, share this video with them. I'm sure they'll thank you for it. All right, till the next one, peace.